The crash came faster than Sophia expected. Metal screamed against asphalt as her car spun wildly on the rain-slicked coastal road. She'd planned this, every detail, every second, but the impact still knocked the breath from her lungs. The airbag exploded into her face. Glass shattered. Then nothing but the sound of rain hammering the crumpled hood. Blood trickled down her temple. Real blood. That wasn't part of the plan. Sophia forced her eyes open, her hands trembling as she unbuckled the seatbelt. Through the spider-webbed windshield, she could see the cliff's edge just 5 feet ahead. Perfect. Close enough to look fatal, far enough to survive. She grabbed the burner phone from her jacket and pressed send on the pre-typed message. It's done. Then she threw the phone out the window, watching it tumble over the cliff into the black ocean below. She took one last look at her engagement ring, 3 carats of blood diamond that Marcus had slipped onto her finger like a shackle, and left it on the dashboard. "Goodbye, Marcus," she whispered. Sophia stumbled out of the car, her head spinning. She had maybe 10 minutes before someone found the wreck. She needed to get far enough away, but not too far. The head wound would sell the story. Amnesia. No memory. No identity. No past. No Marcus Blackwell, hunting her down like prey. She made it 50 yards down the road before her legs gave out. The world tilted sideways. Real unconsciousness swallowed her whole. When Sophia opened her eyes again, everything was white. White walls, white ceiling, white sheets that felt like clouds against her skin. A man stood at the foot of the bed, reading a chart. Tall, dark hair, sharp jawline. He wore a white coat that somehow made him look more like a model than a doctor. "Miss Reed, you're finally awake." Sophia's heart stopped. He knew her name. How did he know her name? The man looked up and his eyes, steel gray, piercing, met hers. "I'm Dr. Julian Cross. You've been unconscious for 18 hours. You were in a serious accident." She opened her mouth, but no words came. Her mind raced. Should she run, deny it? But her body wouldn't cooperate. The throbbing in her head made everything foggy. "Do you remember what happened?" Julian asked, stepping closer. This was it, the moment everything depended on. Sophia's voice came out small, broken. I don't remember anything. Who's Miss Reed? Is that my name?" Julian's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. Surprise, suspicion, she couldn't tell. "You don't remember your name?" he asked carefully. I don't remember anything," Sophia whispered, genuine tears filling her eyes. "Who am I? What happened to me?" 2 weeks earlier. "Where were you?" Marcus's voice cut through the penthouse like ice. Sophia froze in the doorway, her heart hammering. She'd only been gone for 2 hours. 2 hours to have coffee with Emma, her last remaining friend. "I went to the art supply store," Sophia said, keeping her voice steady. "I told you this morning." Marcus rose from his leather chair, his 6'3" frame casting a shadow across the marble floor. At 38, he was handsome in a cold, calculated way, the kind of handsome that made people uncomfortable. Sharp suits, sharper eyes. "You told me you were going to the store on 5th Avenue, he said softly, too softly. "But your car's GPS says you went to the cafe on Madison." Sophia's blood turned to ice. "I stopped for coffee first. Is that a crime?" "Don't lie to me." Marcus crossed the room in 3 strides. He didn't touch her, he never did where cameras might see, but his presence was suffocating. "You were with Emma. I saw the transaction on your credit card. 2 coffees, 2 pastries." "She's my friend, Marcus. I'm allowed to have friends." "You're allowed to have anything I permit you to have." His hand came up, not to strike, but to cup her face with disturbing gentleness. "Everything I do is to protect you, Sophia. The world is dangerous. People want to hurt you, use you, take you from me. I'm keeping you safe." "By tracking my every move." The words escaped before she could stop them. Marcus's smile was arctic. "By loving you." That night, Sophia couldn't sleep. She waited until Marcus's breathing deepened, then slipped out of bed. The penthouse was a maze of luxury, 10,000 square feet of marble, glass, and carefully curated art. But Sophia had discovered something 3 days ago that changed everything. a door she'd never noticed before, hidden behind a bookshelf in Marcus's study. Her hands shook as she pushed the bookshelf aside. The door was unlocked. Why would he lock it? He never thought she'd look. Inside was a small room, no bigger than a closet. But what filled it made Sophia's stomach turn. Monitors, dozens of them. Each screen showed a different room in the penthouse. Their bedroom, her studio, the bathroom, the kitchen, every angle, every corner. But that wasn't the worst part. On the desk sat a tablet. Sophia picked it up, her hands trembling. The screen showed a map with a blinking red dot, her location, real-time tracking. She scrolled through the files. Months of data, every place she'd gone, every person she'd met, every transaction she'd made. Then she found the folder labeled CLAIRE. Sophia opened it. Photos, dozens of photos of a beautiful blonde woman, Marcus's first wife, the one he said had left him 5 years ago. But these photos told a different story. The final images showed Claire looking terrified, trapped, desperate. The last photo was dated the day before she disappeared. Underneath, a single document, a coroner's report that had been buried, hidden, paid off. Accidental drowning. Sophia's hands shook so violently she nearly dropped the tablet. Claire hadn't left. Claire had been murdered, and Marcus had gotten away with it. Everything I do is to protect you. His words echoed in her mind, taking on a horrifying new meaning. She had to run, but how do you run from a man who tracks your every breath? The next morning, Sophia called Emma from a burner phone she'd hidden in her art supplies. Emma, I need your help. I need to disappear. Emma Chen had been Sophia's best friend since college. She was also a private investigator specializing in domestic abuse cases. If anyone could help her vanish, it was Emma. They met in a crowded subway station where cameras couldn't track them. He's monitoring everything, Sophia said, her voice barely audible over the screech of arriving trains. Bank accounts, credit cards, my phone, my car. I can't just leave. He'll find me in hours. Emma's expression was grim. Marcus Blackwell has resources most people can't imagine. Private investigators, police contacts, tech that can find anyone. Even if you run, he'll hunt you down. So what do I do? Emma was quiet for a long moment. Then, you need to die. Sophia stared at her friend. What? Not literally, Emma clarified quickly. But Marcus needs to believe you're dead. If he thinks you're gone, he stops looking. It's the only way. How would I even? A car accident, remote location. Make it look like you went off a cliff. I'll arrange for someone to find you and call an ambulance. You wake up with no ID, no memory. You become a Jane Doe. Someone nobody's looking for because everyone thinks she's already dead. Sophia's mind raced. And then what? I spend the rest of my life hiding. No, you spend enough time hidden that Marcus moves on believing the story. Then you rebuild. New identity, new life. But it has to be convincing, Sophia. You have to commit fully. One mistake and he'll know. 2 weeks later, Sophia's car went off a cliff. Now, lying in a hospital bed with Dr. Julian Cross, studying her with those piercing gray eyes, Sophia wondered if she'd made the right choice. You really don't remember anything? Julian asked again. Nothing, Sophia whispered. It's all blank, like I didn't exist before waking up here. Julian set down his chart. You were found on Route 7, near Devil's Point. A driver saw your car off the road and called 911. You had no identification, no purse, no phone, just the clothes on your back and a head injury. Did I try to kill myself? Sophia asked, making her voice small and frightened. I don't think so. Tire marks suggest you lost control in the rain. It looks like an accident. Julian pulled up a chair beside her bed. Here's what we know medically. You have a concussion, some bruising, but nothing life-threatening. The memory loss, however, is concerning. Is it permanent? Amnesia from head trauma is unpredictable. Sometimes memories return in days, sometimes weeks, sometimes, he paused, sometimes never. Sophia let tears roll down her cheeks. Real tears because despite the act, she was terrified. I don't even know my own name. The police found your car registration in the vehicle. It was registered to a Sophia Reed. That's you. Her heart stopped. Did you contact anyone, family, friends? Julian's expression shifted slightly. There's a complication. When we ran your name through our system, we found something interesting. You were reported missing 2 days ago. Your fiancé filed a police report. No, Marcus knew. He knew she'd run. I have a fiancé. Sophia's voice cracked authentically. Marcus Blackwell. He's been notified that you've been found. He's on his way here now. The room tilted. All the air left Sophia's lungs. He was coming. Marcus was coming, and she was trapped in a hospital bed, helpless. I don't remember him, she gasped. What if I don't remember him when he gets here? Julian leaned forward, and for the first time, his professional mask cracked. Miss Reed, Sophia, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. What? Are you running from him? The question hung in the air like a knife. Sophia's mind raced. If she admitted the truth, would Julian turn her in? Would he call Marcus anyway? Or was this her chance? I don't know, she whispered. I don't remember, but when you said his name just now, I felt... She touched her chest. Fear, I felt fear. Does that mean something? Julian was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood abruptly. Get dressed. We're leaving. What? I don't understand. You're being discharged into my care. I'm taking you to my private estate for recovery. You need somewhere safe and quiet to heal. But my fiancé. We'll be told you've been transferred to a specialized facility for amnesia treatment. He'll be given a contact number that goes through me first. Julian's jaw was set. Sophia, I don't know what your situation is. Maybe you really do have amnesia. Maybe you don't. But I've seen that look in enough patients' eyes to recognize it. You're terrified of him. You'd do this for a stranger. Something dark flickered across Julian's face. Let's just say I have my reasons for not trusting Marcus Blackwell. Now get up. We have maybe 20 minutes before he gets here. Julian's estate was nothing like Sophia expected. Perched on a cliff overlooking the Pacific, it was modern and sprawling, all glass walls and clean lines. It looked like something from an architecture magazine. You live here alone? Sophia asked as they pulled through the gates. Just me and a small staff. Housekeeper comes twice a week. Chef prepares meals in advance. Otherwise, it's quiet, private, safe. The word safe made something in Sophia's chest unclench. Julian led her to a guest suite on the second floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the ocean. The room was decorated in soft creams and blues, with a massive bed and an ensuite bathroom larger than her old apartment. This is where you'll stay while you recover, Julian said. No one knows you're here except my head nurse, and she's completely discreet. You can rest, heal, and hopefully your memories will return naturally. Why are you helping me? Sophia asked quietly. Julian was silent for a long moment. Because 2 years ago, someone I loved needed help running from a dangerous man, and nobody helped her. His voice went cold. She died because of it. I won't make that mistake twice. Before Sophia could respond, Julian's phone rang. He glanced at the screen and his expression hardened. It's him, Marcus Blackwell. Sophia's blood turned to ice. Julian answered, putting the phone on speaker. Dr. Cross. Doctor, this is Marcus Blackwell. I understand you have my fiancé in your care. Marcus's voice was smooth, controlled. The voice he used in public, not the voice Sophia knew from behind closed doors. Miss Reed is recovering from a serious head injury and memory loss. She's in a delicate state. I need to see her, immediately. I'm afraid that's not possible right now. Seeing someone from her past before her memories return naturally could cause psychological trauma. We need to let her brain heal first. There was a pause. Then, Dr. Cross, I'm sure you understand how much I love my fiancé. I've been worried sick. Surely you can make an exception. No exceptions, Mr. Blackwell. Medical protocol is clear. Another pause, longer this time. When Marcus spoke again, his voice had an edge. You know who I am. You know what I'm capable of. I suggest you reconsider. Julian's expression didn't change. Mr. Blackwell, are you threatening me? I'm simply stating facts. I have resources, connections. It would be unfortunate if your medical license came under scrutiny, or if certain personal matters became public. Sophia watched Julian's jaw tighten. What personal matters? What did Marcus know? You'll receive updates on Sophia's condition weekly, Julian said coldly. That's all I can offer. Good day, Mr. Blackwell. He hung up. Sophia was shaking. He knows you're hiding me. He'll come here. He won't. Julian's voice was steel. Marcus Blackwell operates in shadows. He threatens, manipulates, but he's careful never to break laws publicly. He can't force his way onto private property without exposing himself. And he knows that if he pushes too hard, I might start asking questions about his first wife. Sophia's eyes widened. You know about Claire? Julian's expression went dark. Claire was my sister. The world stopped. Your sister, Sophia breathed. Claire was your sister. Julian moved to the window, his back to her. Claire Cross. She married Marcus Blackwell 5 years ago. 6 months later, she was dead. Accidental drowning, they said. Case closed. But Claire was a champion swimmer. She didn't just drown. You've been investigating him. For 2 years, but Marcus is careful, extremely careful. Every piece of evidence disappears. Every witness recants. Every trail goes cold. He turned to face her. When they brought you to my hospital and I saw your name on the chart, I knew who you were, Marcus's new fiancé. And when I saw the fear in your eyes when I mentioned his name, I knew history was repeating itself. So this isn't about helping me, Sophia said slowly. This is about using me to get to Marcus. Yes, Julian didn't flinch. I'm being honest with you, Sophia. I need evidence, testimony, something that will finally put that monster away, and you're my best chance. Sophia should have been angry, should have felt used, but instead she felt relief. At least Julian was honest. At least she knew where she stood. Then we help each other, she said. I'll tell you everything I know about Marcus, every detail, every secret, and you keep me hidden until we can destroy him together. Julian studied her for a long moment, then he extended his hand. Deal. Sophia shook it, and something electric passed between them. Their eyes met, held. Julian pulled his hand back quickly, professional mask sliding back into place. You should rest. We'll talk more tomorrow. After he left, Sophia collapsed onto the bed. Her head throbbed. Her ribs ached. But for the first time in months, she felt something other than fear. She felt hope. The first week at Julian's estate passed in a strange haze. True to his word, he kept her hidden. No visitors. No phone calls. The outside world believed Jane Doe was in a specialized facility somewhere, recovering her lost memories. Meanwhile, Marcus called every single day. Any progress on her memory? He'd ask, voice tight with false concern. These things take time, Mr. Blackwell. Julian would respond coldly. I want to see her, just for a few minutes. Not advisable. You're keeping me from my fiancé. I'm protecting my patient.